Success is simple. So simple, in fact, it's boring. And so boring, in fact, that you're going to ignore the simple basics that lead you to success. Instead, you'll chase complexity, complex, shiny objects, fads, and new quick fix schemes. And success will elude you. And then you will chase it harder. You buy more books. You listen to more podcasts. You try exotic diets and swallow fancy. Why do we neglect to do the effective, simple, and chase the ineffective, complex to our peril? This is the big idea to get today. Understanding why we snub the simple and repeatedly fall for the trap of complexity. It is because these novelties hit our brains like a dopamine jackpot. Our ancient brains are wired for novelty. Whenever we encounter something new, our brains light up, releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This neurological fireworks show makes us almost powerless to resist the lure of the next big thing, which is what is constantly pulling us off course. Basics of success. When presented with a new set of information, especially if it sounds complex or is packaged as groundbreaking, we are actually more likely to believe that it'll be effective. This neurological response was once beneficial to us. It helped our ancestors survive by quickly adjusting and adapting to new environments. But in today's world, it is repeatedly leading us astray, making us bypass the simple for the seemingly spectacular, but to frustrating and dismal results, particularly when social influencers, news media, and marketers know this vulnerability about you and your brain and exploit it repeatedly all day, noon, and night. The more complicated, exotic, new, fanciful something sounds, the more likely you are to buy it, believe it, and swallow it. We insist success has to be more difficult, more complex, more elusive, and more secretive. Your brain mostly skips over the information that feels like common knowledge or common sense. And instead, it hunts for extreme approaches, ones you think are more likely to lead to the extraordinary outcomes that you seek. And so the treadmill chase just speeds up for you. It has you running, trying to learn, buy, and consume faster and faster and getting nowhere. So how do we break free from this cycle of chasing novelty? First, we need to recognize the pattern. Then, every time you're drawn to a new solution, ask yourself, is this a simple, basic, and fundamental principle? Or is it designed to hijack my attention and play on my fears or sell me some form of novelty? And the next is to stick to the simple. Jim Rohn used to say, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. Never neglect to do the easy things, or you will have a hard life. I would adjust this to say, what is simple to do is also simple not to do. Never neglect to do the simple things, or you will have a complicated life. We know what to do: lose weight, to grow muscle, and to get fit. Now, sticking to the fundamentals is not easy, but the formula is simple. We know how to be more productive. The fundamentals are simple, not easy, but simple. We know how to be a better spouse, how to be a better parent, a better friend, a better boss, a better teammate. We don't need to read the latest best-selling book, or to journal about it, or to pray about it, or to meditate on it. We know how to increase our sales, deliver better service, to listen better, to respond quicker, and to be more friendly. You don't need to keep up with the latest tip on Instascam, Facebook, or TikTok, or X. Look, I have spent time with many of the most successful people on this planet during our lifetime. My job was to investigate and to interview and to poke and to prod to figure out how they did what they did. What was it that caused them to rise from obscurity to such extraordinary success that they qualified to be on the cover of my magazine or get featured on one of my success television networks? Every time, from every one of them, the answers were boring, simple, basic, damn near obvious. The only difference was what caused the massive gap between their results and everybody else's was, one, they did the simple. They didn't neglect to do the simple. Thus, maybe much to your surprise, their lives are actually a lot less complex than many unsuccessful people. And number two, simple. They didn't chase the shiny or get hijacked by the exotic. And by doing the simple and sticking to the simple, three, they mastered the simple. They did the simple more often and better with more focus, energy, concentration, and single-mindedness. That's it. I know it doesn't sound groundbreaking and fantastical or awe-inspiring, and that is precisely the point. The process of success is not groundbreaking, fantastical, or awe-inspiring. It's simple. It's not easy, but it is freaking simple. If you really, really grasp this once and for all, it will relieve you of so much angst and so much wasted time and energy trying to keep up with what's new, which is 99.9% useless and distracting. And if you instead double down, triple down on the simple, your results will skyrocket and you'll live a much more sane existence as well. Yes, you can step off the new idea treadmill that you have cranked up to a level 10 and just take the simple steps on solid ground and make much, much more progress than the one running at level 10 on a treadmill. And that is what I do for you here each morning, to remind you of, to help you continue to do and to stick to and ultimately master the simple, basic fundamentals of extraordinary success. So do somebody else a favor this morning. Maybe somebody who feels overwhelmed or confused or perplexed on what to do. That's 99% plus of the population, by the way. Send them this Darren Daily with a note from you that says, "You gots this." I'm sure they will appreciate this very valuable and maybe new idea to them tip. If you're up for keeping it simple, write hashtag KISS in the comments below. That stands for Keep It Super Simple.